there a company behind it, or is there like
As far as I know, the hotel is it's operated by something called Kulturhuset.
which is also taking place for the cultural events? So it's not separated. Or
I think that I might be mistaken, but I think that the culture house and the hotel are under the same legal body. There's many different of those kind of organizations that are active in the space.
okay, so you don't have. Okay, it's like a community.
Yeah. So there's not one
Yeah.
master organization that runs all the others.
By the way, who are you? Do you study here or do you
Yeah.
live here?
Sorry, I forgot that part. I was a student at JIP in the first year that it was founded, and I've lived here for 2 years after that. I started a small organization with a couple of friends for self-directed higher education, so we designed our own higher education, and then now. And I stayed involved in JIP in different ways since then, since I was participating myself. And then since summer now I'm a full-time organizer of the program. So,
But it's not in Jena. It's where is it?
it's here. It's in the program here. And I live not too far from it. I don't live on campus, but I still live in the area where you can say the philosophical influence is present. But you see, you probably saw it when you came here with the taxi, or that there's lots of fields around here, but just agriculture is a big part of the place here. It's a particular kind of agriculture. It's biodynamic. You might have heard of biodynamic agriculture.
Very nice. So this is the sea, right?
That's the scene, and this is the pier. We can walk there, and JIP takes place in this building.
Okay.
And that's the building where we are in now, so the
So we
culture
go
house.
down.
Yesterday it would be like
Is
that,
here.
with all the greenery and all that.
Well, no,
Without
yesterday it would look really grey
Okay.
Hip is here.
in this building here.
Okay, so you can have it here and the sea. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's so different times of the year, this place.
And the people live there in the house, or do they like stay?
The people live in, this is one of the student houses,
All right.
Talivana, and then there's another one you can't see on this picture, which is just opposite of it, which is called Anapesta,
What's the age of the students?
19 to 25, even though we have 2 that are 18 this year, because they asked for permission to participate, even though they weren't 19 yet.
Okay.
And there's also sometimes there's people, well actually, so the guidelines are 19 to 25, but we also have participants that is 26, for example.
Okay. So mainly it's a course. It's free. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
It's 10 months. It's a 10 month
I
intensive
come here
course.
for 10 months. I'm in the class. I do some agriculture. We have some fun.
Here's the Romanian pitch with
Yeah, totally. It's great.
The thing is, I'm trying to get, besides the knowledge, what's the lifestyle?
What's the
Lifestyle.
lifestyle? Okay. So the participants that we have, they're not all. I mean, most of them don't know about anthroposophy.
That's right.
Especially in the first couple of years, many of them came from Waldorf schools. Now I think we have a ratio of I think it's 25% come from Waldorf schools and all the others don't. So they come with just their culture, their culture that is created by the countries that they come from, the families that they come from, the socioeconomic backgrounds that they come from. But there's definitely the diversity in the kind of people they are. So they obviously they adapt to a certain point to the place here. I mean, how can you not when you are in the place, and they are influenced by it? I could say, but we don't. That's important. We don't teach anthroposophy. You can't teach anthroposophy really.
Okay.
This is not a course in anthroposophy.
You experience it.
Anthroposophy. Yeah, or it's inspired by it. Some of the teaching method or some of the principles behind the program have an inspiration in anthroposophy, but we don't teach it. And anyone with any belief system that they subscribe to can come to the program.
And my question was, what was like an average simple day of a student?
Okay. Oh, yeah. So they live in the student houses. There's usually lots of morning activities going on there. You know, they're doing sports. There's a meditation circle, or they go to yoga between 7 and 8. They have breakfast together in the houses where they live. So there's 2 student houses. They probably have to wake up their roommate because otherwise he will sleep too long and stuff like that. Or maybe they play some music. I don't know what they do in the houses. And then
What did you do? I mean,
yeah,
come on.
that's I can describe what I did. You know, we would get up and put on some trance music and dance, and then people would start complaining. And community life, which is a big part of the experience, learning to live with each other, especially with so many different cultural backgrounds. And then class throughout the year. The backbone, you could say, is the morning curriculum. So between 9 and 12:15, each week there's a different teacher, or we call them contributor, coming in from somewhere in the world, and they are a specialist in the field that they teach. And there's different, you could say, blocks or different things that they teach about. Some of the courses are directed, or the purpose of some of the courses is to create an understanding of how the world works in a deep level, on a systems level. What are some of the dynamics that are going on a global scale, and what kind of phenomena does that we can perceive today in the news and wherever does that create? Another type of course is that is more focused on development of self and self in community. So how are we together? How do we work together? How do we see each other and so forth? For example, this week is very strongly going in that direction. Some of the courses are more focused on actually learning tools, you know, art of hosting and these kind of things that they need to work with projects. So that's the morning curriculum. There's also a fika break each day. A fika break is a coffee break, and then they come here for lunch at 12:15.
Okay.
They are in different check-in groups, so the group is divided in 4 groups, and that means that they have some task in helping to set up and clean up for lunch and for dinner, and that on Wednesdays they go and cut vegetables, for example. And then the afternoons look quite different throughout the year. In the beginning of the year there's community engagements, so then they go out and, for example, they work on a farm, or they potentially could go to the architect's office and work there. Different places where there's where they can be in service. It's more like community service, I would say, where they can help out with different initiatives on the campus and in the community here. And what we are in now is just called afternoon schedule. So on Mondays we have internship preparation. On Tuesdays there's arts and movement. On Wednesdays they have a free afternoon. On Thursdays it's personal initiatives, and then each Friday afternoon there's community meeting where we all come together and discuss, the go-abouts of the year in the community and so forth.
Is there a focus of the school program, like, I don't know, understanding of the entrepreneurship, leadership, creativity?
Yeah. So what we say is that YIP is a social leadership training for youth aged 19 to 25 who want to create positive change in the world. Quite clear. Is it? Yeah. Because it's actually been one of our struggles. How do we communicate what's actually going on here, or what we are trying to do? And it's also not finished, or like my understanding of what we do is sometimes I know now I have the feeling I really know what YIP is about, and then again I'm like, damn, actually I really don't know what YIP is about. I think that's part of like working with these kind of innovative schools, is that they're trying to do something, but it's not quite clear yet always what it is. So there has to be room for this to be formed.
And what have your alumni done? Are they doing something? Some of your alumni, what have they gone on to do?
So we've done a survey last year, and as it turns out, the biggest percentage of alumni actually go on to study after YIP in more conventional settings. But you see that they pick particular universities for particular reasons, and you can also tell that the way that they engage in their studies is very different from an average person who comes out of high school. There's also those who go on to work